Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Buffet. Today, I'm alone, and I'll be discussing the Pokémon Presents that premiered on February 27th, 2025. Okay, so this comes at a very late time, at least for the contents of this Presents in particular, and a very... I don't want to call it, early time. It's not early for whatever the hell is in here, but we are on time for some Lenzy A updates that we got recently. The game is God's release date, which you probably already fucking know it, honestly. It's coming out October 16th. Yeah, they announced it in a Twitter post for some reason. They didn't do a trailer like they usually do. They instead just revealed it in a Twitter post that it's coming out October 16th. That was weird. I would have liked to see a trailer, but we didn't get that. We got instead a Twitter post saying its release date, plus showing off the cover art for the game, and also seeing they revealed the fact that we are getting a Pokemon Presents on July 22nd, which will probably be covered after the game has released, knowing my schedule. So yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Am I gonna cover it? Sure, why not? It'll be sort of like I guess it depends on when it comes out. I mean, there's a lot in June. There is a lot in June, so it depends. I believe the game will already be out by then. If I'm going to be completely honest, the game will probably be out by then, so I'll probably treat it as more of an update for it, and there may be some other stuff in that Presents that maybe comes out later on the line. I don't fucking know. Maybe there's some cool things that I can cover, but in this one, at least for now, Lenzy A hasn't released yet. So yeah, if there really is nothing in that Presents that is actually coming out before it's released, I will not cover it. Full stop. I'm gonna do. It's what I'm doing basically with the Monster Hunter showcases. That I know that they're focusing on the title updates. However, I'm not going to be able to do the title updates. I'm not able to cover those in a timely manner, unlike how I did it last time. Unlike the previous schedule that we had, where we did it with almost on the day the thing came out, the event came out for some break like launches and stuff like that. That's what we did, at least for title updates, and also like leading up to the release. That's also what we did. But I'm not gonna be able to do that with Monster Hunter Wilds, at least not for the next few title updates, and probably not even for 2026. It really does depend on everything, and if anything in the Pokemon Presents is releasing after when it's supposed to come out, then I'm just going to not cover it. I've always wanted to do it for the channel instead, for my YouTube channel instead, which I have not uploaded anything anything major on. Hopefully hopefully I get to do that, but I'm not very sure that will be the case for that. But you know, I might do it. Just for any breakdowns or anything like that, but it's just not my cup of tea. I don't like doing that. There's enough people doing that. So I mean, what am I adding to the market? I'm just not gonna do that. I might do a reaction, to be completely honest. I think a reaction is probably the best thing for me to do instead of just being like instead of I mean reactions also just kind of yeah a reaction. A reaction is gonna yep that's a thing I can do. There's not a lot of originality there, but at least I'm like putting in my input as I'm seeing it, and not just I mean I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that I don't know why I'm gonna do that. It depends on what is in that presents, but July it's coming in July, and I saw Joe Cerebi. I know it's not his real name. I forgot his real name, but John Cerebi tweeted out that he thought that this was strange, and I thought I was fucking taking crazy pills because I thought it was like the most sensible thing ever considering when this game is releasing. So this game is releasing in October. I'm probably gonna talk about it more when we actually get to it. But this game is releasing in October, and and like in the presents is in July, which kind of lines up with what other games tried to do, which was the game's released in November, and then the present was in August. That didn't happen last year because there was no game last year. There was nothing last year. We didn't get a Pokemon Presents for last year in August because there was just nothing, and the game wasn't and Legends ZA just wasn't gonna get released until 2025, until October of this year. So there was nothing, and now I think it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense for me for it to be in July, since considering the release date, it's October, and all of that. Like July makes sense. So yeah, that's all I kind of wanted to say. Like to me, it makes sense why it's releasing in why that presents is in July, and that's when probably it's gonna kick off the actual like more of the marketing material, because I gotta say the marketing material for this game has been kind of non-existent. We got in 2 trailers. To be completely honest, I didn't think there was the best option to get 2 trailers so soon from each other. Like it was a month between the 2 trailers, and now people are asking for more since they kind of forgot that second trailer even happened. And it's probably not going to be at whatever if we're getting a June Nintendo Direct. It's going to be at the Pokemon Presents, or if it is, then I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. But that's all I have to say about that right now. Again, if things line up for it to be covered, I'll cover it. If not, then I don't know. I won't. I don't know if I'll do a reaction. I'll probably do nothing, knowing me, but yeah. Anyways, let's get into the presents. There's not a lot here for me to talk about aside from the last 2 announcements. So it'll be kind of a speed round because all this is just mobile games I don't give 2 genuine shits about. So yeah, let's just get into it. First up, Pokemon Concierge Season 2 is coming out in September of 2025. I haven't watched Pokemon Concierge, and I actually only realized this was Season 2 because of Wikipedia. Now, I know it's not the best source, but I don't know why I don't know why people would lie about this. It'll depend on when we see it, but right now I'm considering it to be Season 2. I've not watched Pokemon Concierge, and it is one of those video game adaptations that we will eventually cover. I think I forgot about it, but yeah, we will eventually cover Pokemon Concierge. It's just that I haven't, and it'll take a while for us to get there. I'm not gonna be. It's not gonna happen for the release of this specific season, but or maybe it's all just one season. I'm being fucking stupid. It depends on how it comes out. But yeah, no, I haven't watched it yet. I heard it's good, but it was just not my thing until now that I have to actually watch that sort of thing. Yeah, no, I will eventually be watching Pokemon Concierge at some point. Eventually, I'll do it. Why not? This is the wrong tab. There we go. But yeah, no, Pokemon Concierge Season 2 is coming out September 2025. Next up are some Pokemon Go updates. Unova Global. There was a Unova event. It already ended. And then there's Mighty and Mastery Season, which has Cup Winner Shifu, which is actually still ongoing. It'll go on to, I think, June 6th or some shit like that, or June 2nd. So, pretty late, but you might be able to still do it. Whipsit AZ, I don't play Pokemon Go anymore. Unless there's like a mythical event. For a mythical, I don't have. And currently, I don't have Marshadow. So until an event for Marshadow, until Marshadow comes back. Well, I mean, I don't have Marshadow, I don't have Diancie, and I don't have Volcanion, and I don't have Hoopa, which I am very convinced that we are probably going to get not events, but definitely like sort of what they did with Legends Arceus. We will be getting them to like save data stuff or save data bonuses for Legends ZA. If I had to take a wild ass guess, I think that Hoopa will probably be available through Legends Arceus safe data, and Volcanion will be available through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet safe data, and Diancie will be the one that's available within the game to get all the Megas. And maybe, and I know there's been a lot of people saying, I'll probably get to it when we get there, but the fact that people think that we're gonna get all the Megas, apparently, I mean, maybe that's the case, maybe that isn't. I would love to have all the Megas, but that seems... the more I think about it, the more I feel like it's unlikely, thanks to the Lotties and the Weather Trio and all that being there. I think Diancie is a pretty safe bet to be in here, and they might just include every single Gen 6 Pokemon, because Legends is a single player game, so having all of that be there would be great. I don't see them not doing that again. Just having every Pokemon of the generation of the region there. So yeah, no. But anyways, back to Pokemon Go again. I don't play anymore. I haven't played in a while. The last thing like major thing I did. I think I caught Genesect, which I have in my sword, I think, and also I got all the I got all the Vivillons. That's the actual straight up last thing I did on Pokemon Go. That's the last thing I used it for. The Vivillons, which took me a bit. I remember that was before the shutdown of Pokemon, of the 3DS. So yeah. Whoops. You know, that was good, but yeah, that's how I use Pokemon Go, and it's not like I don't enjoy it. It's just that I felt I just kind of don't. I never really liked it all that much. So yeah, let's move on to Pokemon Masters EX updates. Brendan and Primal Groudon, main Primal Kyogre, Steel and Mega Rayquaza, all shiny, are coming into the game. I don't play Masters EX. I do kind of like it, but I think it's just gotten to a point where there's too much in the game for me to actually get into. I know it has fans, and I liked it when it came out, but I just have not been able. I just have not wanted to come back to it. The last like mobile game I enjoyed from Pokemon was Pokemon Duel. If anyone remembers that, that's the last like mobile game I really enjoyed. But yeah, Masters EX, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love it. I like it, but I don't love it, and there's not much for me to say. But hey, it's cool that they're having all this stuff here, and it's available now from what I can gather. Hopefully, I'm not wrong about that. Anyways, Next up, Pokemon Cafe Remix updates. Yippee! I played Cafe Mix before it was called Remix. It was called Mix, and I played it, and I thought it was okay, and I did not bother playing any more of it again. And yeah, but there's some other stuff. There's the Apple event, which already ended. Gen 9 starters and some special outfits, which already ended, and Pikachu and Eevee in some special outfits, which everything fucking already ended. If you came here to watch the latest news for Pokemon and the coverage for the latest news of Pokemon Presents, you are dead wrong. You are wrong. You are here to watch a guy talk about like a presentation that came out 3 months ago. That's what you're here for. And this was supposed to come out a month ago. Beat that. I think exactly a month ago it was supposed to come out. So, yeah, this is even later than what I wanted. Great. But yeah. I played Cafe Mitts when it came out, and I thought it was okay. They didn't really stick around for it. I thought it was weird that you can only play it with your handheld Switch and not your big Switch. So, yeah. Yikes. But let's move on to the Pokemon Sleep Cresselia vs. Darkrai event, which already ended. Yippee! I think this is very interesting to have. Pokemon Sleep is one of those games that you kind of do nothing in. And also, Pokemon Sleep was one of those games that eluded the mind, the app stores of Pokemon fans, because it got announced and then it never came out, and then it did, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's out. That's weird. That's cool. But yeah, Pokemon Sleep. It's cool that they had this sort of Cresselia vs. Darkrai stuff. It's actually, I think, really cool to tie that in and with all that. So I actually really like it. I like that sort of thing. But again, Pokemon Sleep isn't really for me. I don't bother with any of the like mobile app Pokemon stuff after Pokemon Duo got shut down. I think it's called Pokemon Duo. I think it's called that, right? I'm being stupid. Yeah. So yeah, no. And that was fucking years ago. They got shut down years ago. I stopped playing shit after that. I started playing Pokemon Go in the pandemic, or at least like lockdown, because they added like the free like raid passes, so you could do like the remote raids, and then they took that away. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, the Cresselia vs. Darkrai event already ended. Next up, some Pokemon Unite updates. Yippee, Pokemon Unite. Suicune is available now to be able to play Alone Raichu 2. Creamy is coming out June 12, 2025. So, hey, I'm on time for something. The Remote Stadium event has already ended, and the first to 500 game mode is available now. Cool things. I was tempted to play Unite at first because they were doing like a free Zeraora giveaway, and I am very susceptible to FOMO for everything that is not cryptocurrency based. So yeah, I almost played this. And I didn't, because I was like, I'm not playing fucking 10-cent garbage. I'm not playing League of Legends for Pokemon fans. I'm not that stupid. So I decided to not play it, and I have not played it, and I heard it's fun, but I don't know. I don't feel like joining in. Again, I don't care for a lot of the video. I don't care a lot for the Pokemon games that came out on mobile devices. It's just not my thing. So yeah, moving on to Pokemon TCG Pocket Triumphant Light Collection, or whatever the fuck this is supposed to be. I don't play TCG Pocket. I don't care about the trading card game. But cool that they're getting new sets. From what I recall, I think this game, at least TCG Pocket, has like monthly sets coming out. Like, that is insane. That's an insane output for this type of game. So I got appreciate Devs at least for that, and it has like different sets from like the official trading card game. So that's cool. But I appreciate that. But again, I don't play TCG. I know it's actually remarkably simple. It's not as complex as people like to pretend it is. So I don't mind it, but still. Not my thing. So I'm not gonna be able to be here for that. And hell, it's already came out, so whatever the fuck. Anyways, yeah. Pokemon TCG Pocket Triumphant Light is available now. Next up, the Mega Evolution is returning for the Pokemon trading card game. Again, I don't play TCG. Cool. I remember when that was like the big part of our childhood was the trading card game. Pokemon was actually having a resurgence thanks to X and Y, which is actually kind of why I love Legends ZA a lot. Why I really, really want it is because at least from what I like back then. This is my first time really talking about it. Yeah. Back then, that's when I was a kid, which is fucking weird to say because I'm not that fucking. I am not old enough to be saying when I was a kid, but when X and Y were coming out, it was a big thing. It was like, yeah, Pokemon was having its resurgence, Pokemon was being popular with kids again, thanks to X and Y, and all this shit, you know? X and Y, yeah, like it was big, and there was a trading card game, people were trading to the Mega Evolutions and all this other shit. And it was all pretty cool, and that sort of faded out. And all that, so yeah. But now it's back, thanks to LNZA bringing that shit forward. So yeah, cool. I'm not gonna be playing it, but it's there. What the hell? Alright. Whatever, you saw something. Anyways, the Mega Evolution is returning in 2025 at some point. Probably around like the time LNZA comes out, so gonna tie that in. I don't know if there's like a set coming out. I don't know if it's already out. But I don't know if it's a set coming out that has Mega Evolution. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Yeah, let's move on to some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet updates. First up, there's going to be a new phone. Well, I mean, there is a new phone case celebrating the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, which has version exclusive phone cases, so you can have one in the same game. It's one that's like plain orange and one plain violet. They are very, very remarkable. To my knowledge, they're still around, so you can actually get them. Some mass outbreak events which already ended, and some Terra Raid events which already ended, which were the starter Pokemon being like having the what was it called, the unbeatable mark or some shit like that. It was something. The unbeatable. It was something like that. It was like a special mark that these type of Pokemon could have. Anyways, those events, I was doing them like all the time. I did all of them pretty much up until like a certain point. I forgot which one. Don't ask me. I haven't looked in a long time. I think it was probably Delphox because I have not moved that shit in from home. But yeah. And then they were doing that once for Super Legendaries, and I think we're in for and I think we're on like Garchomp. So yeah, if you're doing those updates, if you're doing the steroid events, good for you. I know a lot. I know I try to always do. I always try to do. I like to do the Master Outbreak events because it's easy for me to get shinies, and I like doing that. I'm a retired shiny hunter. I have experience in the field, but yeah, that's it. I don't even log on anymore for anything. Let's move on to Pokemon Champions. This is very interesting. We don't have a lot for this game. Nope. I mean, simulated gameplay probably is what it is. But it looks to be what I actually was talking to some people about outside the podcast. That I feel like I felt that there should be a game that you could transfer Pokemon in, kind of like a Pokemon Stadium game. They could transfer Pokemon in. That's kind of a universal game where it's all about the competitive scene, and there's different and you could do like different gimmicks and all that shit and kind of mix around, and you eventually would have all the Pokemon, so it'd be like a universal competitive scene, and you could like mix and match it from all generations, and that is what it seems like we are getting with Champions. It is coming to mobile devices as well, so that's cool. But it won't be. It seems to not. It's not going to be a free app, at least for Switch. So that's going to be interesting for us to see. But yeah, no, it is something that I've been kind of wanting from the franchise for actually a really good amount of time. So having having the chance to actually like have this is it's cool, and I do. And I do appreciate that we're getting this from Pokemon. Obviously, it's not gonna have all of them at launch. That's, I think, an unrealistic expectation. At least for like the number of Pokemon, number of forms that we have currently in the game. I think it's a very unrealistic expectation. But eventually, we will be able to have them because they have to have home connectivity, compatibility, and all that shit. So we'll eventually see all the Pokemon join Pokemon Champions, but it's a cool thing they're doing. It's coming out at some point in the future. We don't know when, and you know, I'm very excited to see that. The most unfortunate thing is that it's not going to be free. I think that's the worst thing about it. Is what it seems like. So yeah, that's it. Anyways, our final announcement, Pokemon Legends ZA. This was our first look at gameplay for the game. And I gotta say, for me, it did not disappoint. It is very little. And I gotta say, a lot of people were saying they were underwhelmed by the trailer. I gotta say, I got what I expected. I didn't expect anything grand. Usually Pokemon promotional material doesn't start out very big. It starts out very small and then built upon that. And just new things and all that stuff. I think here is going to be no different. We are going to see a lot more stuff in later trailers that is going to be more representative of what's actually new with the game. However, this trailer did show a lot of new things and did show things that people sometimes didn't like, but I liked it, and I'm probably gonna buy it. I'm 100% going to buy this game. You already know. But yeah, no. Pokemon Legends ZA. What can we say? Well, it's set in Lumio City, and you're gonna be able to choose through 3 different starters: Totodile, Tepig, and Chikorita. 2 Gen 2 starters is a choice. It at least gives them the opportunity to do something new for them, like a Mega, or a new Mega, or maybe a new regional form. Who knows? But it gives them at least the opportunity to do something new with those. And there's Tepig, which is just kind of there. But who am I choosing? Totodile. For the second time in a Legends game, which is the only other time that could have happened, I am choosing a water starter. I chose Oshawott for my starter in Legends Arceus because I was like, I used Rowlet for Moon, for my first Moon playthrough, and on my official Moon playthrough that I'm currently I'm either doing or I don't fucking remember. I think I'm halfway through that shit. And then I use Cyndaquil for my Silver playthrough, or my eventual Silver playthrough that I will do at some point in the future. So, and that's why I chose Oshawott, because I'm planning to use Snivy for my eventual Unova playthrough, which either will be in the shape of a remake or me eventually coming back to playing the original games. And then we go to here, and here's interesting, because I'm not planning to use any of these starters. I am not using Totodile for anything. I'm not going to use Chikorita at all, because in every game that Chikorita is in, it's absolutely goddamn fucking trash. And then there's Tepig, which evolves into Ember and Pignite, and they both kind of suck. Looks wise, not exactly, probably, you know, fighting wise, but definitely looks wise, they're not the best. So, what the hell? So who do I use? I'm using Totodile. I'm using. I like Feraligatr a lot. I don't mind using Feraligatr. So I will be using Totodile and Feraligatr for this playthrough of Legends ZA. And again, I like what they're doing with Legends ZA. It is a sequel to SMY, which is very welcome. A lot of people were not. A lot of people were very disappointed with what we saw with SMY, with being kind of not open ended, but definitely. But definitely, I would say. I would say it's not it left a lot of questions with for like the world itself and all that stuff, and it definitely set up a lot of things that also needed to be explored later on. So I like that this is going to be a sequel to X and Y instead of a prequel like it was with Sinnoh. They are exploring the different segments of the regions, and I like that with Legends. Like Legends isn't just the past; it is expanding upon the stories that we've seen previously in the Pokemon franchise. Right? Like again, Legends Arceus is a prequel explaining like the history of the Sinnoh region, since the Sinnoh region is very much based on history, and that's a big part of the region. And here in Kalos, it's all about moving forward, and this being a sequel, it's very cool. So I really do enjoy the fact that this is going to be a sequel to X and Y, and not just a prequel for, I would think, no reason, really. I would have liked for it to be a prequel. I think that could have been an interesting way to keep it going, but that's not what they wanted to do, so whatever. But, you know, I like a lot we're seeing Lindsay Gay. It's having a new battle system where you can actually, like, it's like kind of like the anime, where it's a lot more it's a lot more real time and all that stuff. That seems really cool. I can't wait to play around with that. The whole map is Lumio City, it seems. We'll see how big it truly is, because I know cities that are big in video games, and you can go around them and all that stuff. So we'll see how big this city truly is, if it's going to be the size of one Lens Arceus map, or if it's going to be at least somewhat bigger than that. And also, Pokemon are going to be in these little spots throughout the city, instead of being out in the wild. And I think that's cool. I think that really emphasizes what Lumia City is trying to be, which is a place for people and Pokemon. So I like what they're going with this. A lot of people are underwhelmed, but I feel like it was mainly because of the gap that we had between the reveal and this trailer, that people set themselves to be wild expectations, especially since there were no leaks of the game out there. Obviously, there was the Terra leak, but the leakers of that never revealed anything about the game aside from some little tidbits here and there. So, you know, like there isn't much. There wasn't much to be said. So people like speculate a lot, and there were a lot of fake leaks going around and all that stuff. So, you know, there was nothing going on about Pokemon, about like new Pokemon stuff. So, yeah, no, like seeing, like, some people I think set themselves too high of expectations for this trailer. We'll eventually see all that. We'll eventually see more, maybe some new things, new Pokemon, maybe some new Megas coming to the game. Eventually in its marketing material, but before the October release, which will happen 3 months. So they have like 3 months to really advertise the game, which, I mean, that seems plenty enough. So yeah, I think that we'll be getting some cool things from this game as it goes on, and it's coming out for Switch 2 as well. It's gonna have a Switch 2 edition when it comes out. So that's cool. I learned recently that there's gonna be 3 types of Switch 2 cartridges. There's gonna be one that's like a normal cartridge, which has the game inside the cartridge, and there's another one which is the game key cards. We're gonna cover this in the Nintendo Direct stuff, which will probably be a very long episode. But yeah, there's that, and there's the ones that you have to download them from the internet, and it's only like, it's pretty much like a fucking glass. It's probably gonna be like a plastic case for your games. That's what the key cards are basically for. And then there's the LN cards, which are cards that contain both the Switch 1 edition and Switch 2 editions of the game. And it'll be compatible with both Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. That's cool. That's what I'm probably gonna get, because I'm planning to get a Switch 2 eventually. I'm not gonna be able to get it for launch, and that's because of several factors. I don't want to get into that. But for my region where I am, it is not gonna be coming until 2026 at the very least. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to be getting that. But hopefully, at least the LN version of that of the game is available for me to buy, so I can at least have Nintendo Switch 2 edition ready to go when I get to Nintendo Switch 2. You know, just kind of have that there instead of being stuck on this. I'm probably gonna do the same for Metroid Prime 4. Just gonna get that if that's gonna be the same case here. So yeah, no. But yeah, I am very excited for LNZA. I think it's a game that I'm very much waiting for. I'm waiting to see how the pre-orders work, because I want to get this physically. I don't want to get I sort of set myself up to get the games physically for Nintendo Switch, because why wouldn't I at this point? But seeing the game key cards is a bit concerning for that, but I'll probably still do it because I'm stupid. I'm a Nintendo fan. I waste money on shit I don't even need. And, you know, we'll see how it goes with Pokemon Legends ZA when it comes out October 16th, 2025. So yeah, no, that's about it. What did you guys think about the Pokemon Presents from the Pokemon Day? Leave in the comments below. All our socials in the description, and if you're on Spotify and want to follow us, you can follow us through the follow button. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's sure. And you can rate us if you like or dislike the episode. And if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to stay there for our content. You can like if you like the episode, dislike if you dislike it. Share it out if you think it's worth sharing. And, you know, that's about it. See ya.